This song used to play so hard in our neighborhood as we were growing up. Man, we will dance, we will celebrate, and oh my God, I remember those days. It was quite a beautiful childhood we had, and this is one of the beautiful compositions by Malika. Well, I love the song. I still sometimes dance a bit to it, and yeah, man, it's quite a hit song even today. And well, really, I think it played so many times in the weddings. We'll talk about what the song says, but I'm just throwing this song here because I'm thinking about a moment like many years ago. My grandmother was very, very strict. In our neighborhood, the way we have been groomed, we were taught that if maybe there are some social activities, functions, weddings, social events, all the other kids in the neighborhood, even if we had a wedding in the neighborhood, they would definitely be there. They'll be told, hey, kids, move to the side, or maybe you have to sit. They'll be controlled in a way. You see ushers being active there to control their movements. But it was different with us. My grandmother would not allow us to go to such events. If there's a wedding in our neighborhood, if there will be food that was distributed, sometimes like people will be registered and then they will buy presents and the family will give them some take home food like samp and pounded meat. That's what happens in our culture. So, but with my grandmother, it was different. She was very strict. She did not like kids who were always dirty there, playing down the streets, maybe being told to move about. She felt it would just disgrace her in a way. So we knew that we would not be found in such places. But these songs, man, they used to play a lot, and we just. This part that this person listened to fire that talk about, like, it's the songs, the words that we hear then, but so we were well disciplined, so we wouldn't like go out there and be found with other kids, even those who we used to play with. We knew when there's a function. I remember one wedding in particular just behind our household. We did not go there as kids because we would know, even if my grandmother's not attending, we will still not dare to maybe try to sneak out like people always do, everybody else. It was different with us. Well, in today's episode, we are talking about trusting the process. Trusting the process. Well, I felt in us talking about that, then this song came to my mind, and I could relate it to the point where I heard it. And I would like to take you through just a journey and maybe to encourage you. I believe that each and every one of us, there is a process that unfolds with each and every one of our single lives, because everybody is meant, God will not create you and not attach purpose to your life. Just like I said in the other a broadcast, that the Creator created us and He has put a manual, and in that manual we get to know how we ought to function, the purpose for our existence. Sometimes if you need to remind yourself, you can just refer to the manual. So yeah, in this episode, this broadcast, will be talking about trusting the process. But let me just wrap up the song. Let me just go with the song for the last time. For the last time. Cheza, cha, cha. Yo. As it hit this point, man, you could feel the vibe in the atmosphere where the event will be. So let us go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'll just expound on maybe 1 or 2, 3 points which I put up for this broadcast. Definitely, I know you're going to enjoy this one, and you're going to be inspired, you're going to be motivated. We are doing this, and I believe at the end of the day, we should be able to say, no, I need to rethink, I need to trust the process. So I'll see you right after this. Yeah, welcome back. I am still with you, your host, Abed The Smile Pastor. We are talking about trusting the process. I'm reminded of some words that God gave to Abram. By that time, he was not yet Abraham, he was Abram. And then God says, depart from your father's house, depart from your people, depart from your place to the land I will show you. God talks to him, and he does not specifically tell him right away on the spot that this is where you will go. He just told him, depart from your house, depart from your family, depart from your household, your father's house, to the land that I will show you. And sometimes I get to think that if it was during these times and God said to us, maybe God said to you that you need to depart from your house, you need to leave your country, you need to leave your people, and maybe you need to leave maybe a corporate world. I don't know how you will respond, because we are living in this technology era. I believe then maybe I would say, or you would say, God, if you're saying I should live, then here's the map. There's Asia, here's Africa, this is America, this is the Atlantic Ocean, there's the Indian Ocean. So, God, where exactly are you taking me? So, it was different with Abram. He was just told, to the land I will show you. And these words came to my heart in me preparing for this broadcast, where I want to talk to you about trusting the process. It's the process that God has intended, which will unfold. And the secret in trusting the process is that the process of God separating you, the process of God taking you to the next level, the process of God elevating you, or the process of God establishing you, the process, we need to trust it, because that's what God does. He just tells you the end product. He says, I'll make you great. He says, you'll be a father of nations. He says, I will finish what you started. Like in the book of Philippians 1 verse 6, Paul says, now having this confidence that he who began the good work in our lives will bring it to completion. This is the secret. Paul is saying this with his confidence. He knows that God will finish what he started. So even maybe when this word comes into your life, and then you already know, like, God will bring it to completion. But then there is the process. Why do people give up on the way? God says to Abram at one point that you're going to have a son. He doesn't have a son. And, I believe the reason why he had a son, and maybe the wife advised him the way he did, like Sarai advised him the way he did, was because maybe they were impatient with the process. We can think of the journey, the Exodus, as the Israelites were being delivered from the captivity from Egypt, that in the process, in the journey, they failed somehow to trust the process of God to unfold by keeping the faith. I remember there's a point they complained to Moses, like, were there not enough graves in Egypt? At one point when God was giving them manna, they get to complain. They were like, when we were in Egypt, we ate onions, we did this. You see, but God has brought deliverance. God has remembered his covenant. God has kept his word to these people. Yet, in the process of them going to the promised land, God had clearly told them that I'm taking you to the place where the honey and milk. You see, this is the point where you are, and then on the other hand is where God says you're going to go. So in between point A and point B, many of us somehow in the way we fail to be confident, we fail to do the right things, or maybe sometimes we fail to know how to respond. But I want to tell you that you gotta trust the process, because God knows about it. God knows how it will unfold. I'm thinking and I'm relating my story and what I'm sharing with you today to that little boy who was strictly forbidden to attending social gatherings, just not to disgrace. And I'm saying that this has shaped me to be the irresponsible man that I had become. Even when I got to be saved, it was not because I was a bad kid or what. I had still upheld the principles that he has instilled. And sometimes I look back in the streets and I feel like parents need to raise their kids. They need to train them in the way. So this has instilled in my life discipline. I mean, had I kept fighting the process, I'm not sure of how I would have turned out to be. And would I still be this person who's talking to you today? Because in the journey, as your life unfolds, from being a little man, a young lady, to being the person that you are today, there is a process. There is a process, and I want to tell you that you gotta trust the process. God says that whatever I started in your life, I'll bring it to completion. This is not something that I can just touch on just in one episode, like season, and like this broadcast. So definitely, in our next set, I will definitely now bring to you some pointers on how we can just trust the process. So I'm excited. I'm going to share these with you, and I'm positive that at the end of this broadcast, and maybe as you get to look forward to the next one, you would have picked some ideas. But this is how we kickstart this season, where we're talking about trusting the process. And that song that I love, check it out.
Yo, whatever happened to that dream that God put in us? Before the world told you what you wanted to be and what you needed to do to be successful. Before you saw somebody else do it and said you...
And this is how we wrap up this broadcast with the song of Basil featuring Willie Moore Jr. They say there is a better way. So I'm leaving you with this song. I hope you'll be blessed. Until next time, I am your host, Abed Nico the Smile Pastor. You can only get better.
You know what? I need money, I'ma do that. Before you knew what money was, and what did you want to be? And why'd you let it go? Come on.
If you're getting sick of running and tired of the hustling, go for it. I tell them go for it. You got a dream that you're chasing, well I think you can make it. You should go for it.